Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria, and we're gonna do Jack's epilogue! In this part, I decided we're going to continue with the good things, and then we'll do the ill-fated love ending in the next part. Well, I guess it depends on how long this epilogue is, but anyway, let's jump into it. Her secret ring. Are we gonna get secret married? 1 month. 1 month. 1 month. Singular. 2 months. The hours, days, and weeks passed as they would in times of terror or joy. But in this instance, Jack the Ripper's terror was ended, and the people of London became well rested. My time, considerably not suited for rest, was now split between attending Harrington Academy and establishing a place for educating the children of the East End. Thank you ever so much for your help with the school, Spencer. Think nothing of it. Leaving the building empty would have given the prostitutes reason to keep using it. I rather like that my kid can study here, too. And the textbooks that were donated have arrived, my lady, so I gathered them inside for you. Thank you. Would you be so kind as to put them on the shelf for me, Jack? But where's the best spot for them? I think the bookcase at the back would be nice. And the bottom shelf is empty, so you could put the ones in the alphabet there. It would allow the small children to reach them. That's a wonderful idea. You're so considerate, Jack. No, that ain't true. You two are the portrait of a husband and wife. Pendleton, don't put ideas in my head. Goodness, Pendleton, I know it's true, but to hear you say it out loud is another matter altogether. Tee. Sorry, I'm not. I feel a bit awkward now. Our life now is like a dream, isn't it? Oh, it is a dream. Because Pendleton would never, you're like a husband and wife. Pendleton would never say that. Pardon, Miss Whitley. You are in class. Mr. Mackenzie's great too. She's out like a light. Look at that smile too. Must be some dream she's having. I just love the fact that Watson fucking grew up and the rest of them are still chubby little babies. And he's like, hey, sexy Disney prince now. Who's Disney Princess Jellyfish Hair? Disney Prince Jellyfish Hair? No, you're still Disney Princess Jellyfish Hair, always and forever. Good lord. Suppose we'll have to fetch him yet again. Oh, my lady, please wake up. If you're not up within 5 seconds, I shall toss your dessert into the bin. What? No! Wait. Have I? Oh, I love the fact that Jack's back in school. You fell asleep again. Drat, could you not have woken me in a more conventional manner? I've learned taking your desserts is the best way to go about it. Look at that smarmy look on his face. He's like, eh. I love it. Jack, having completed various tasks required of him as a butler to the Whitley family, was granted permission to continue his studies at the academy. The details of how he obtained permission eluded me. The credit belonged wholly to Pendleton, but when I pestered him for details, his mouth remained adamantly closed. Pendleton is nothing but a good Secret Service agent. What is it, Fossis? He's a good Fossis agent. I'm awake, but life now is still a dream to me. He was given the death penalty, but here he is, alive, and able to study with me again. And nobody is like, everyone else is like, it sucks that you were falsely convicted. And he's like, I know, it wasn't me at all. I didn't do anything bad. It's funny how the world changes. Jack's the one who wakes Spacey now, but he used to be the one to sleep through class. But his grades were always rather high, unlike yours. That's true. That last bit hurts me, though. He's smarter than he looks, that Jack. I wonder if he's even smarter than you, Akechi. That I do not know. I'm encouraged by how he's mended his indolent ways since returning, however. Class, the lesson isn't over yet. Now if everyone could pay attention. We've got quite a bit to do even after school is done, don't we? Today's tasks are... First, I shall escort you to Bow Road directly to inspect an old church. Permit me to carry your bags. Now! I told you not to be so stiff on academy grounds. We're schoolmates, aren't we? Sorry. There was no hiding the remorse in his features as he followed me out of the classroom. Why won't you walk at my side, Jack? 'Cause it's easier to do me job from here. He'll always be in my line of sight. But it's a queer sight to others if we walk single file like this. We aren't soldiers. Oh, look! See? Everyone is staring. Did Pendleton put you up to this? It was my idea. I'm not one to show my back to the enemy, and I'm proud to have found a way so that neither will you. Pardon, but I wasn't praising you. I do know your reasoning comes from the heart, of course. So for that, thank you. I like that part of you. Let's brought that on. We'll be late if we keep this. Up to it! If we keep at this. What? Wait! Don't push me! Come on. Keep up or you might trip. What's gotten into you, Jack? Jack! Now he's being the complete opposite of stiff. Could that have brought this on? And Jack is one lucky bloke. I wonder if I'll ever look back on my younger years as fondly. He's like, Watson, you're like a fucking 30-year-old man now. If you don't finish that report, I'll see to it that you won't live long enough to look back on your younger years. Right. Don't say something like that. The evening was an enjoyable one, accompanied by an after-meal cup of tea. Oh! Pendleton's so snooty in the background. Oh, Jack, it looks so precious. He's like bowing, and he... Pendleton's snooty fucking look is great. The tea is delicious, Jack. Is it Prince of Wales? Oh, it's Prince of Wales, yes? Yes, I'm happy you like it. The orange scones and acacia honey are absolutely delectable. They complement the tea perfectly. That's why Pendleton's snooty. He's like, it's my job to make tea perfectly. I'm honored you think so highly of him. Do you have something you'd like to say, Pendleton? I fucking love it. Yes, I do. You're too lenient with him, my lady. He's still unrefined in his manner to have earned the degree of praise you shower upon him. I disagree. I find him to be remarkably dignified. The tea he brews is comparable to yours in quality as well. You've done well in your instruction. Thank you for the compliment. By the by, I have both good news and bad news to present. Which would you prefer to hear first? The good news, then. God, her stupid fucking hair. You've received a formal offer of marriage. Me? Marriage? Me? The proper response to that was spitting all your tea out. This was sudden. Too sudden. I was stunned into blank thought. The shaking of my hand was so rousingly violent that by the time my composure was somewhat restored, more tea was on the floor than in my cup. Also, that's the good news, Pendleton! I'm sorry. I said the good news, Pendleton. Not the fucking bad news. Oh, I get it. It's the good news. It's good news because he's gay, and he just wants you to be his wife so that he can have an affair with his butler. Me. And you can have an affair with yours, and it'll be perfect for both of you. Pendleton! You're magical and I love you. Yes, I'm motherfucking magic. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. Perfect marriage. Anyway. His name is Kyle Howard, and though he is young, he's made a name for himself as a skilled businessman in the publishing industry. It's only very recently that he's only begun to engage in other philanthropic ventures. I can't say that in Pendleton's voice, Jesus. But please, I need a moment. I'm only 16 and he looks 20. I looked to Jack, who was standing at my side. And he looked at nothing. His expression was calm, as a butler's should be. Oh God, I don't like this. He learned of you through Miss McLeod whilst they discussed her pursuits in establishing your school. She speaks very highly of him, so why not meet in deference to her? It is just as well that a young woman of the nobility interact with other members in her class. You received an offer of marriage. He's never fucking met you. He has never fucking met you. He's never even seen a picture of you, maybe. But, like, Miss McLeod is like, oh, I know quite a lovely young lady who should marry Kyle. Oh, yes, Mr. Howard. Sorry, Howard. Mr. Howard, you should just ask her to marry you without even seeing her or meeting her. It would be better. She's quite rambunctious. Jesus. But he's the younger brother of Baron Howard. Upon hearing it, he expressed a great interest in your project to establish a school in the East End. Quite possibly enough interest to assist in funding. This all sounds like wonderful news to me. Pendleton, go fuck yourself. I love you, but no. It's a bit too wonderful. Oh, well then, let's hear the bad news. I mean, Jesus! And that concerns your school's real estate payment, and the deadline draws near. Oh, that's very sudden. That's the bad news? You should have led with that. I said the good news, Pendleton. The payment draws near. Oh, that's not good. That's the good news? Yes, well, the bad news is somebody wants to marry you. Fuck! I mean, normally that would be good news, but not when you're in love with your fucking footman. Just saying. And it is the truth. As your butler, I've worked to manage the family assets in an effort to increase profits. But I fear the school expenditures with our mansion's common cause have placed a strain on the finances. Well, that's fucked up. I understand. I'm gonna have to fire you, Pendleton. What? I mean, because you're selling me off, and I don't like that. And there's also the matter of you being both the head of your household and a woman. See? Requiring that any suitor of yours give up his own surname and marry into your family is a lot to ask, and that alone would be enough to send most men running. I understand my position, but I simply don't wish to think about marriage. You may wish it all you like, but now is the time to start. He's like, you're not getting any younger. You're gonna be a spinster soon. She's like, you know what? I prefer that. Shut up. Pendleton commanded the butler's manner of detachment much more strongly than Jack, and not through a face devoid of expression, but through words that cut deep. It equipped him with a callousness he knew could hurt, and he wielded it now as needed. I know, Pendleton's fucking amazing. My lady, you must be ever conscious of your role as the head of the House Whitley. Don't you agree, Jack? For a brief second, his inexperience was exposed through wide eyes. It was so quick that I could have tricked myself into believing he never made such a face. This is the time you run away, and you go live with Jack, and you do something elsewhere, and you forget your name. I quite agree. Jack, you... If it does you no displeasure, my lady, I have work that needs tending to, and I'll have to excuse myself. Oh, he looks so heartbroken and sad, and I hate this path. I loved Jack's path. I really did until this. I don't like this. Oh, Jack. He retired swiftly with his head down. There he goes. What an awful mess. Pendleton, bring me those papers. Of course. I have the papers regarding Mr. Howard ready. I don't care for that. I want the list of children enrolled in the workhouses that I put together. It should be in my room, so kindly get it for me. Talks of marriage can wait till later. I didn't want to look at potential suitors now. It was nonsense, the suitor business. Pendleton thankfully brought me the papers I had asked for with all due haste, and I went to work spreading them across the table. If you continue with that terrifying pout, Jack won't be the only man in London sent running. Why don't you run away too, then? I think I will. Your mood leaves much to be desired. He retired as well, a frightful grin that lectured me more than words upon his lips. I quite agree, he says. How could you, Jack? I know that he's a servant, but he could have said something. No, Pendleton threatened him not to. A good night's rest did nothing for my mood. Marriage was a heavy burden, and my mind was fully anchored down despite longing to think of anything else. Yet anchored or freed, my routine was not to change. And so I brought the subject to my friends. My, he wishes to go straight to marriage. So it appears. I've not given him an answer yet. I know you're the nobility, but it feels too soon for you to marry. Not at all. She's almost 17. A noblesse. What? Okay, I don't. That's a. What? Anyway. Noblesse oblige? Anyway. Compels her to be a role model for society. Whatever. No, so booty. Noblesse oblige. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way you're supposed to say that. That's not the way it's spelled. But anyway, it's a concept that those of wealth and power must act as a proper example for society as a whole, and those who follow it have fine families and may willingly contribute toward the betterment of their people. I think Miss Whitley is a very fine lady, and she won't have any trouble finding a man to marry. I love the fact. I just fucking love awkward Lupin. I love the fact that he's like trouble. He can't, like, he's so into his role that he trips and falls all the time on purpose. And he can't, he's like, problem. He knows how to say the word fucking problem, but he's like, trouble. Yeah. Like, he stutters over simple word. He is so good. I love awkward Lupin. What about you, Jack? What about what? Why are you staring? You know what and why. It isn't exactly my place to say, but how do you feel about all this? I don't care. Enough to never regret it if you don't do anything about it. Look at how majestically now his fucking jellyfish hair is. Even his hair changed color. It's like lighter, but he'd be so much cuter if he didn't have the rat-tailed jellyfish hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fine with long hair, because, like, Pendleton's hair is glorious, but I hate the jellyfish hair, where it's, like, short all the way around, and then it's long. It's like a fucking mullet. It's like the Japanese version of a mullet. Why? Don't do this. Stop it. Party in the, like, business in the front, party in the back. Stop it! It's like business all around, but partying underneath. It's like, I look like I'm wearing, like, a school uniform, but then I'm just gonna, these are, like, tearaway pants, and I'm in my thong underneath. I'm like, woo, dancing on a pole. Like, what the fuck is this? Stop it with the hair. I hate it. Fucking bothers me. I hate the jellyfish hair. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing, and all the fucking heroines have it. I swear, too many of them have it. It's annoying. And I could do with Watson's long ponytail if it wasn't so jellyfished. You know what I'm saying? With nothing to keep us once lessons were finished for the day, Jack and I left the school building. Only something was to keep him. An unidentified something. He stopped. Wait. What is it? I left something in the classroom. I'll be back in a minute, so wait here. I'll come with you. No, you can't. Just wait. Over here, then point your back this way. That's good. This is just silly. You worry far too much. He ensured my back was all the way to the wall and that I was standing in a position where the Academy's guards were able to see me before disappearing within the grounds. I listened to the northern wind. The trees rustled in response, and to hear it brought me a lonely unease. I like things as they are now. Why can't we stay like this forever? My feelings haven't changed. I want to have faith that his haven't either. Why am I not allowed to know the answer for sure? Crows cackled, flying across the evening sky to announce the day's end. My apologies for keeping you. No, I didn't mind. Very well. Well, you'd best be off. The horse pulling the carriage neighed handsomely to set the journey off. So it was that Jack and I were reunited in a carriage that once felt much more spacious, now ponderously lacking, even when we sat opposite of one another. He said nothing, preferring the view from the window to my company. Look at that, Jack. How did you get blood on... With caution, I extended my hand to his. He nearly slapped his face with the speed he moved to touch it. Jack opened his eyes wide, for he knew right then that it was a ruse. There was no blood. That he was so quick to act, however, told me everything I needed to know. What dangerous thing had he done? What wrong had he committed? I knew it. You thought there might very well be blood, didn't you? You were bluffing. Yes, I wanted to test your reaction. Forgive me, but does this mean you're No, it's just a force of habit. Jack's fingers still had yet to become plump with healthy meals. Perhaps he would always be a dreadfully thin person, with dreadfully thin fingers that turned bone white when squeezed with irritation as they were now. There's nothing wrong with being a bone-thin person, just because we're chubby. I can't look at a dessert without gaining fat, and you ate an entire fucking dessert buffet, and you lost 10 pounds. I can't. He refused to meet my eyes. I hope your meeting with that suitor goes nicely. Why would you say that? I've said nothing about it. Ain't no harm in meeting with the chap. I want you to have a good life. That's all I want. To speak of it so calmly pierced my heart. How? How could I have prepared for this? In what way did I deserve this? I had to work to keep my voice steady from the anger that built within me. I don't need your blessing on my getting married. Why? Try not to look like such a fright. I'll look at as much as I want now. You know how I feel, don't you? You know that I love you. Oh. Every day. I tell you every single day. But ever since that night, you haven't said it back to me once. Oh, I love you. I'm playing nuts over you. There. That enough? You're making it sound as if I forced you to say it. I'm just a servant to you. I talk as myself at school because that's what you ordered me to do. You can't mean that. Please, tell me that isn't how you feel. Tell me that it's a matter of our social classes. Can't you? No. A man's feelings can change over time. That's why I'm not saying what you want. How? Oh, he's just lying to protect you and him. Oh, it hurts! Oh, why? This is the epilogue. Why does it feel like the bad ending? Before I could control the urge, I slapped him. Oh, girl! How dare you! Are you pretending to be someone you're not for my sake? Don't you make a fool out of me! My palm stung from the strength I had put into it, but he was emotionless. I looked more hurt than he. Are you happy now? God! Just suit yourself! For the rest of our journey, we exchanged nothing. Not a comment, not a question. This hurts so fucking much. My soul is broken right now. I can't. I simply felt anger towards Jack. Or not so simply, for I was distraught at having lost something important to me as well. The two conflicting emotions swirled in my head with the consistency of a vortex, granting me a dizzying, emotional fever I found difficult to bear. This is what Pendleton did to her mom. Alicia was the one to assist me in changing upon my return home. Welcome home, my lady. You're back early today. Is something troubling you? Did you... dear, you didn't quarrel with Jack, did you? Hardly qualified as quarreling. Rather, Alicia, you look flushed with happiness. Do I? May I ask something? Do you have a lover? Well, my lady, what's brought that on? Though I regret to answer that I have no one. But you have someone you fancy. With respect, I am a loyal servant of this family. Oh, but everyone falls in love. You must turn heads with how pretty you are, Alicia. There has to be some man out there who's caught your fancy. Will you swear not to repeat this to anyone? Oh God, are you in love with Pendleton? Because girl, I don't blame you. Of course, I won't tell a soul. Oh, look at how precious he is! Oh! Alicia, I love your boyfriend. He's so precious. Why can't he be our boyfriend too? Oh, look at him. He's adorable. Oh my God. It's the milkman, Wallace. He's such a sweet person, and I'm charmed by that shy smile of his. I don't blame you, Alicia. He's adorable. I love him. He's precious. I know him. He's the young man who comes by with that handcart every morning. He seems to be quite popular with the maids in the kitchen as well. Indeed, he lifts my spirits every time I see him. Oh, isn't that the way? There's always like somebody that does that. Like whether they fucking real or, well, whether you know them personally or it's like a celebrity or something, there's always someone that you're like, oh, or a Pendleton. Oh, Pendleton. Anime character, doesn't matter. There's always someone that like, every time I see your precious face, I'm just happy. And then it makes you sad because you're like, oh, you're going to go marry someone else and I'm going to get sad. Anyway. We've spoken quite a bit, and he recently invited me to go to a restaurant with him on one of my days off. You're a beautiful person, so it isn't any wonder to me he would take a shine to you. Why can't you marry the milkman? You live here, you'd be like, the milkman can come live here. I beg your pardon. It's not right to talk about personal matters like these whilst I work. You really won't tell anyone, will you? As the head maid, none of this is particularly appropriate of me. You needn't worry. I would never forbid the family servants from falling in love. I should think you would worry more about what Pendleton would say. He would never stop teasing you if he knew. That won't do. Why, if the matter were brought up suddenly, I may drop a plate or make some other mistake. Please, I ask that you keep it very secret. I think it's so funny. Could you not tell anyone? You're talking to the head of the household. I'm the one you have to worry about. I'm the one that's going to be like, bitch, you don't fall in love in my house. And I'm the one that's like, no, Alicia, oh my God, marry him, girl. Oh, honey, you can still be the head maid and like have a little cottage like at the ground. He can still do his milkman business. It's fine. You can do this. Oh, it very much will be. I'm in your debt, my lady. Alicia, you can keep your job here. You don't have to live in the house, but you can. And like, milkman can come live here too. Sure, sweet. We'll even get a cow in the backyard for him. After excusing herself properly, she retired from my room to do more laundry. She's so lucky. She can love and marry anyone she wants. I suppose there are some things she can't do that I can, however. I can attend school at the very least. A pity that the world's yet to be a place of true freedom. Hmm. Pendleton, I've chosen to meet with Mr. Howard. Have you? And to what do I owe this change of heart? Miss McLeod has been a great counsel to me throughout my endeavors. It wouldn't do to reject this act of kindness on her part. Plus, I have a feeling that you've told Jack that he can't be in love with me, and I hate you for it, and my soul is dead, so I might as well just lay there and be a broodmare for some rich man. I hope you realize you've crushed my spirit, Pendleton, and I'm dead inside now. Dead! I don't think Pendleton would give a fuck. He'd be like, whatever, you're doing what you're supposed to. You know what? How do you think I felt? I had to watch your mother fuck your father. Gross. Is this payback, Pendleton? It's cold and heartless. I love you so fucking much. You mentioned he was interested in educational investments too, didn't you? Perhaps we'll suit one another. She's saying this with a happy face, but it's like so. Oh, and she's saying this in front of Jack. Oh, I'm glad you made up your mind. Well, you'll be seeing him Sunday then. Yes, I'm only agreeing to meet with him, however. That's all. Sunday arrived. We gathered for afternoon tea in the immaculate garden of the McLeod mansion. To couple this garden was the sun, which beamed unobstructed by clouds or any sort of foul weather. It was the perfect setting for the occasion. My heart is crushed forever and ever. You don't know the joy it brings me to have inspired this meeting. Miss Whitley, Mr. Howard, I confess, I've always suspected the two of you would make for a smart match. She's such a lovely older lady. You know she was beautiful when she was younger. She's kind of beautiful as an older lady. She probably like 30. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. This game is cruel. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Howard. Look at her little hat. It's fucking cute. Her little fascinator. Love it. The pleasure is all mine, Miss Whitley. I see her every bit as lovely in person as I've been led to believe. He's kind of charming, but... My prospective marriage partner greeted me with a smile. It was sincere, as was he. I soon noticed after our introduction. His actions were poised for wealth and still befitting a good man who had to earn my affections. There was courtesy in the way he stood, the way he seated himself after he assisted me, and the way he conducted himself in the presence of unknown company. I should make this plain before we take this further, but I lost my parents at a young age. Once I'm graduated from school, I intend to formally inherit the family name. You intend to have me marry into your family rather than you into mine. I find that agreeable. He's agreeing to this too fast. He's like, look, I've got to be honest with you. Secretly, I'm gay, but I need a wife, and it's really hard to find a woman who wants to marry me, who's okay with me not being... And she's like, oh, thank God! Best marriage ever. Okay, so, like, if I have children, they'll inherit our but it's going to be because I'm fucking my footman. You're okay with that? And he's like, that's fine. Your footman's not bi, right? Anyway. I'm the second son of the Howard family, as you may have heard, so to be adopted by House Whitley is of no concern to me. And if it gives you some peace of mind, I lost my parents during my school years also. I have some idea of how you must feel, though it's been a long, long time. I mean, she's like 16 and he's got to be like in his 20s, and this is freaking me out a little. This is how it worked, though. You know? She's like 17, marrying age! Here's your 35-year-old husband. Oh! Oh! And it makes the lolly boys less creepy when she's like 16 and they're 15, and you're like, and me, I'm like, oh no! But it's a year difference, maybe 2 max, not like fucking 30. I truly am grateful to Miss McLeod for arranging this and allowing me the honor of speaking with you. Oh, my, you mustn't think so highly of me. He didn't so much as flinch upon the idea of giving up his name. What unexpectancy! I had come here to surprise him as a woman of free thought, but he surprised me more by being exactly as I hoped to proclaim. Indeed, this was no act on his part. He was a true, progressive gentleman whose mind was constantly craving new ways in which he might grow richer through humanitarian efforts. He is an impressive man, isn't he? Pendleton, and I just read that super gay, and Pendleton's voice is a little gay anyway. But, Pendleton, are you in love with it? Pendleton's like, look. Pendleton's got the shit down. I'm just going to go with this in canon in my head. There are so few gentlemen in this world who would accept your condition without giving it a second thought. I'm at a loss. If this conversation ends on the assumption that we'll be married, well, we ought to leave the two of them alone. A fine thought. I shall be over there if you need me, my lady. The two stepped away, leaving just Mr. Howard and me. Oh, goodness, I've no idea how to behave with an older man. You talk to Pendleton all the time. What if it's Pendleton? It doesn't count. Please relax. I've no particular expectations. Would it trouble you if I mentioned your interest in educating the children of the East End? He smiled again. It was still as sincere as the first one he gave me. I wouldn't mind. You see, I'm in the midst of establishing a school where children without means can eat and study. What a difficult task that must be. And yet it's one of absolutely worth doing. Truly, he agreed with my idea? To hear it from a stranger, gave me genuine pleasure. At this moment, I'm drawing up a list of all the children in workhouses. This is not so simple a thing as it may sound. There are many who have run away or lost their lives without any record of their deaths. For the list to be thoroughly complete, there's much research to be done. I find that school isn't just a place for academic studies, but a place to learn about society and the world as a whole over a healthy meal. If the people don't have at least a minimal amount of education, they cannot take control of their futures. Schooling is a necessity for them to head their own destinies, regardless of their parentage and social class. It was through Her Majesty's generosity that I've been able to attend school. It's afforded me so much more potential than I could have dreamt. And I now want to share that, however small, with the children of the East End. You're very much ahead of the times in your thinking, I must say. Everyone in the world has the right to an education. Where they were born, when, who their parents were, man, woman, and these are trifles and are not an excuse to deny such a vital experience to any one individual. Would it be offensive to ask if it's been hard on your finances to give birth to this idea? It has been shamefully difficult. As it stands, I don't have enough to see it to completion. I've heard your family's home was once lost in a fire, so that must not have helped your woes. Miss Whitley, whether you choose to wed or not, I'd like to support your efforts. In places such as France and Italy, I've studied the future of education, so if it's not too bold of me to proclaim, I may be of assistance beyond money. What a genuine man. He's considering me beyond marriage, considering my ideas and beliefs on education. He's so fucking gay. He seemed too good to be true, 'cause he gay! Right there. He seems too good to be true. That means he's gay. I was convinced he would stand and leave upon hearing that he would have to marry into my family, but far from it. The conceit I've shown. How could I have come here on an impulse? Come here simply because I was annoyed with Jack. This could change the course of my entire life. Our conversations today have been a delight, Miss Whitley. Oh, yes, I think the same. You're quite clearly a lovely young woman. If it pleases you, I'd have us marry as soon as you see fit. But by soon, I do not mean now. And take as much time as you need to consider it. You're at a delicate stage of your own education, and I by no means wish to push you for an answer. Another thing, even if you were to decide against getting married, I would still quite strongly like to support your educational venture. I wouldn't want you to feel I'm using that as a bargaining tool for your hand. Thank you. Very much I thank you. She's like, I'm in love with my butler. Pendleton? Well, yeah, but no, the footman? You're very welcome. I look forward to hearing your answer then. It's pretty much no. I wanted to smile as he had been so kind to me, but it felt so unnatural for me to do it. I excused myself from a wonderful visit with a wonderful man, an upstanding man, feeling a deep woman's shame from knowing that I could never come to love him. Aw, that is kind of sad, but he's so great! He's gay, Spacey. He's so fucking gay. That doesn't... The sun had set when I returned from the McLeod mansion to my own, or like, it's maybe their English That's what it is. I need to go to England and meet a hot man. Or Japan. I want to go there anyway. There's a lot of places I could go that might be better than where I am. I'm just saying. Welcome back, my lady. Good afternoon, Jack. May I ask how it went? It went well. He's very much a good man, but... But? It's nothing. I'm feeling a bit tired, so I'm going to rest in my room. Very well. This is the time you come into my room and ravish me. God damn it! I fled up the stairs. The guilt was building upon each step. The first thing I did as I entered my room was slam the door behind me and dive onto my bed. Why did my body feel so heavy? If I'd known I was going to feel so guilty, I would have never agreed to meet him. I'm a horrible person. I shouldn't have been so cruel to Jack either. But, I mean, you're in love with him, and he's like, what? People change, and basically broke your heart, so it's a natural reaction. It's okay. You're forgiven. A knocking came at the door soon after. May I enter, my lady? As I had little want to speak, I stood and went to open the door for my guest. And there was Jack, a tray with a lovely tea set in hand. I brought you some tea in case you'd like some before you sleep. Jack, you're not angry with me, are... I'm not angry. Like, I ain't... Look, stops. He placed the tray on the table. If it's not imputed to me to ask again, how was it? The meeting? Right. What else is there? He looks so sad. Spacey, why can't you see that he secretly loves you, but he's just trying to hold back? He was taking the matter very closely to his heart. He listened to me as I talked to the school with great interest as well. So then, you'll agree to it? No. I plan to politely refuse him. Are you sure of that? Yes, very sure. I nodded, looking up to Jack to see what my words would bring. His eyes were so beautiful, a scarlet like no others, even when masked by his hair, which he still had yet to groom to perfection. Beneath his fringe were beautiful and sad eyes. Thank God. What? Spacey, I can't take another minute. Oh! Oh! Yay! You know he wasn't going to let her get married. There was going to be something, but it was still killing me. He leapt to wrap his arms around me, to squeeze me till I could no longer breathe. I was still, and he trembled as he held me. By the second, this trembling grew more violent as one did when weeping. Jack, you're hurting me. I was going to fix it. I was trying to change how much I loved you bit by bit. I swear, but I just can't do it. Sorry. I'm real sorry. All I want is for you to be happy, and that'd make me happy too, I thought, but... I don't understand you at all. I reached to cling to his coat and grant him security. Why did you make no attempts to stop me? Why did you say you wanted to go nicely? I know that you must if others are present, but Jack, you said such things even when we were alone. How could I tell you? You want I should stand right here and tell you not to marry all your life? That's not it. I'm the only one who ever says that I love you. You never say it back to me. These months have been so painful for me. I wondered countless times if you no longer loved me. His hand's a little low on her waist, getting a little friendly there, Jackie. I love it. What if I had to wonder forever? Oh, the curse to my soul it would be to never know. And I thought that was just how it was going to be. If only you would say you love me. I could do anything if I heard that. Sorry, I really do. I love you so much that it makes me want to cry when it hurts bad enough. Oh! This path hurts so much in so many good ways and so bad. You're like, no, Jack, why are you being a dick? I know you love me, just admit it. And then he tells you, I love you so much, it hurts. And you're like, oh, it hurts some more. I think my heart stopped beating throughout half this path. I'm just kidding. And ever since I got to live in here, didn't think it was possible. But I love you even more now than I did. He mumbled in a childish, apprehensive manner, so preciously, so closely that my ears flushed from his voice. He could not hold me close enough, and so with each new mumble he chanced to hold me closer. I don't want to hurt you or cause you to make a mistake that'd kill your chances. Terrifies me to think it. Terrified of myself for wishing it. What if I held you, and that'd be the end of it? What if I wouldn't have no more sense to let you go again? Is that what you've been thinking? I'd entirely given you the blame for this, and yet you've always had me in your thoughts. I love this so much. I'm never going to marry, so forgive me. Forgive me, Jack. Please forgive me. Don't do that. I mustn't cry. Makes it look like I did it. You weren't crying? Well, I thought I was. But then you crying so much is like you're crying for me. It's calmed me down, I suppose. Jack soothed my back with his hand, now just the lightest touch, again and again in a rhythm. See, Pendleton? This is true love. Our mother never loved you because she wouldn't have married another man. I knew the day was going to come. You getting married off and all. I want to be more gentlemanly for you, but I'm a servant. I'm never going to be able to marry you unless you abandon your family's name. I won't have to be that way. I should rebuild House Whitley so that I never need to marry. And I want to help you. It might take time, but I do want to support House Whitley. Thank you. But since you have to act the part of a servant in public, will you be with me like this when we're alone? Please. This is so fucking romantically beautiful. I love it. Of course. I wish I didn't hurt you like I did. I'm sorry, Spacey. I love this so much. It's like the secret lovers. They're like, she never did get married. The spinster. And meanwhile, she's like the happiest fucking woman ever because she's in love with her goddamn fucking servant. And everyone else is like miserable in their arranged marriages. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. No. So long as we can be like this, that's all that matters. That you always look so impassively may work to our favor. I don't look impassive so much as I always look sullen. And there's something else. Is there? He backed away but a small distance to present a box that was small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. He opened the lid to reveal its contents. I knew it was like her secret ring or something. I was like, are they going to get secret married? It is! It's a secret ring! Oh my god, it's so adorable! I can't handle it. Okay, she doesn't look derpy there. I mean, her eyes are huge, but she looks cute. I'm okay with this. I want you to have this. It's a ring. Are you certain? When I was given me first earnings from here, well, couldn't tell you how good it made me feel. And the first thing I bought was this. Oh, this is perfect. I could faint. I know I could too. My god, what the hell is this path? What the fuck is this? I love it so much. This is like, I feel like this gives me all the feels. Like there are ones you're like, oh, it's cute, it's so great, but this one is just, I can't breathe, guys, I can't. This is so thoughtful of you. Where did you buy it? I stole it. No. Where? Just a straight stole in Covent Garden. That explains why it looks like an antique. It looks cheap, you mean? I wanted to give you a present, and I wondered if it looked like you were mixing in with the wrong people if you were seen wearing it and changed me mind. But I couldn't bring myself to chuck it either, so I left it in the desk at school. Would this be what you went back for the other day? It looks antique. He's like, you mean it looks cheap? No, it looks antique, and that should cost you way more money, but the fact that it's a used ring costs you... Damn, bitch, I want it. Like, it's beautiful and wonderful. Like, antique rings are the most fucking beautiful shit. I figured it was about time I give up on it all. I don't know why I kept holding on to it. For this. How could you think to throw it out? I'm so happy you gave it to me. His expression had finally softened with joy. Do you mind holding out your hand so I can put it on you? Please do. Which finger should I put it on, though? Well, not her left ring finger. Well, it's got to be the ring finger. All right. For a man trained to be otherwise, Jack was, when our love was the subject, very clumsy. I thought it a darling quality, and my face burned with bliss as he, more clumsily and meticulously than I ever recalled him being before, slid the ring onto my finger. But she's putting it in our left hand. You should put it on your right hand. It's like, I'm gonna have to wear it on my right hand so no one thinks suspiciously, but this is our secret wedding ring. Is this all right? Does it fit? Like a glove. I'm never going to take it off. Do you think it suits me? I guess. People might get the wrong idea if it's on your left hand. Are you sure? That's precisely how I want it. Who gave it to me can stay our secret. I shall treasure the case it's come in, too. I'll place it in the back of my Just as I turned to my desk, I noticed something different. Pendleton's been sitting there with his little fingers together, and she's like, Pendleton? And he's like, I've been here the whole time. No one ever notices me. I'm so fucking good. I'm just kidding. Wait, has someone been near my desk? The papers aren't organized the way they should. What was this? Anytime one of the servants tidied my room, they would place my papers together in a neat stack. Anxiety crept at the corner, and so I moved to open the desk drawer to send it away. no one has been in to clean my room today, correct?
That's right. It only gets tidied on Mondays and Thursdays. Why?
My workhouse list isn't here. This doesn't make sense. I absolutely had it here. Jack and I stepped into the hall to search in another room. Is something wrong, my lady? Alicia, have there been any visitors today? I'm not aware of anyone. And may I ask why?
Alicia, please look after Lady Whitley for me.
Jack, what's wrong?
I just remembered some urgent business. I won't be long.
I had no time to react before Jack dashed out of the mansion. Oh no! Not Precious Wallace the milkman! No! Poor Alicia!
Come on! I haven't got time to waste! Move the cab! There's a pound in it for you! What? I'm not going anywhere for a pound. Afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. Once I've sold this document at the port, I can pay you 5 times that.
Oh! Wallace works for the evil people that kidnapped the children that Akechi tried to save! Oh, Wallace, why? No, he was pretending to be the gardener. I'm like, wasn't there something with... No, it was the gardener. Okay, never mind.
5 times, you say? Well, best of luck getting there on foot. Have a pity, mate. I need to be out of town by tonight. If I'm not...
Oh.
Hello there. Give it up, milkman. Give it up, milkman.
In a single, near instantaneous motion, the young man collapsed to the ground. The pages of the document he previously had in his hands were now scattered about. I hope Jack didn't kill him.
What just happened? He's gone.
When the cab driver turned, there was nothing to be seen but the black of night. I searched blindly for the list till late into the night. I can't find it anywhere. Where is it? My desk again, my bookcases, and in between the pages of the books they cased. The cabinets was nowhere to be found. Jack returned as I was on the floor to inspect for foreign contents beneath my bed. I could see how uneven his breathing now was. He looked utterly drained. How? Jack, just where have you been till this late?
Oh, I was looking into something that wasn't worth a trouble. Have you still not found your list?
No, I can't find it no matter where I look. I'm worried someone may have stolen it.
It's too early to assume that. Perhaps look behind the chest of drawers.
Well, true, I haven't looked there. He slid it there. By his encouragement, I peered behind the mahogany chest of drawers. When I did... There it is! I couldn't believe it. I missed it in such a simple place. How on earth did it fall back there? I'm so careful to keep it in my desk drawer.
I may have placed it atop the chest and it fell back behind on its own. The window was open. Wind blew it.
Jack gave a gentle sigh, then extended his hand to pick the document up. I only saw it for a moment. A new wound on his right wrist.
See? This is it, isn't it?
What did you do? I heaved through the papers, which were woefully in the wrong order to how I always had them arranged. Someone broke into this room when I wasn't there. Someone who was looking into the family's affairs. But you returned my list to me. Look at how preciously evil he looks. Thank you, Jack. And she looks like an 8-year-old.
Hey, mister! You look kind of evil! You want to play?
That's what she fucking looks like. She looks like a creepy little 8-year-old kid, and he's like the evil, like,
it's okay, I might stab someone in the darkness.
How funny that it was here after all that panic. Who would have known?
Just keep him close in the future.
Jack chided me, but gently as was in his manner. He appeared normal again. Yet I was hurt by this. I knew that he would never allow me to press him on what happened. And such a secret, yes, to keep something from me did hurt in some insignificant way.
May I come in, my lady?
Oh, just a moment, please. I became flustered. Perhaps Jack was not the only one between us who grew clumsy at the sight of their beloved, who was always made drunk and stupid when alone with them, but drunk and stupid in the most delightful way one could be either of those things. Delightful way one could be either of those things, okay. I looked into the mirror to fix my disheveled hair in a rush.
I'm all right. If you're worried, I mean.
Come in, then. The door opened and Pendleton was next to enter.
I wasn't aware Jack was with you.
He is. Do you take issue with that? I suppose I don't. And that aside, I'm overjoyed that today's meeting went well. It makes me proud to see he's already so fond of you. And the only thing left to do is to give the eager man a response. What do you intend to do? I intend to. I fell silent. Must he ask me such a thing in front of Jack? You already told Jack your answer. But there was a feeling of some kind I could not shake then. An instinct that said he only asked when we were both present because he knew my answer. I intend to politely refuse his offer of marriage. For what reason? Whether it's on paper or in person, he would be a perfect husband. He's taken an interest in your work. He is an intelligent, model gentleman, a man willing to give up his name for yours, and you would turn him down? Pendleton, are you in love with him? Do you want me to marry him? I'm telling you, he's gay, and Pendleton's in love with him. What is it that you find lacking? Although, Pendleton was in love with our mom, and that made him gay. I don't know. He wasn't in love with our mother, he was in love with our father. Oh! You may never again find such a man as he. All correct points, Pendleton. I do not disagree that he's a fine man. And then you leave me more confused. Is there something about him you dislike? Yeah, he's not Jack. Well, if you fancy him so much, then you have my blessings to marry him. That is not what I'm trying to say. Pendleton's like, okay. There isn't a thing wrong with him. It's less to do with him and more to do with me as it happens. You see, I've chosen to never marry. Should any more prospective marriage partners appear, I wish you to turn them down on my behalf. And so you've settled on remaining unwed till your death. I have. By all means, take it so directly. That's not a way of life I would recommend, my lady. Oh, I'm not going to be alone. I have a man toy. But Jack reserved an utterly serious expression as he turned to me. You sat on that. If you choose not to marry, then the family line will end with you. No, it won't. I can always adopt a child if I need someone to inherit my name. Or, well, okay. Here's the thing. She's gonna be having romantic relations with her butler. You think she ain't gonna accidentally get fucking pregnant once or 6 times? I'm just saying. They're gonna be like, how'd she get pregnant? She's like, I'm not pregnant. I just eat a lot of desserts. And they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, no, true. I intend to create a school here, and my thoughts and feelings will live through the children who attend. My bloodline, in a sense, will never truly end. Don't you think so, Jack? I do. Very well. If you're so determined, then I don't believe anything I say will bid you a change of heart. I will drop the subject. Jack, unless a suitable partner appears for Lady Widley, we will be responsible for managing the family's finances. I know. I'll do all I can. It's funny. You trust Jack to run the finances, but not me. I'm a noblewoman. We're lucky he can read. I mean, no offense to Jack, but he came from the East End. He didn't have the... Well, okay, he got to go to school, and he actually had better chances than most of the kids out there. But I'm just saying, you trust him more than me to run my own money. You know what? I don't blame you for that, to be honest with you. Now, if you'll excuse me, you best retire for the night as well, Jack. Yes, certainly. And I shall excuse myself as soon as I've tidied up this tea tray. Look at the look on his face. Slowly doing it. Slowly doing it. Good heavens. You two are hopeless. He's like, I'll finish tidying up the tea tray. And Pendleton's like, Jesus Christ, be a little more discreet. Leaves. Pendleton shrugged his shoulders. His battle was lost, as he knew it would be. And so he once more politely excused himself from the room. He's like, he's gonna go cry in his room because the person he loved married someone else. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm never gonna get married because I love Jack. Are you really certain you're alright with this? I've never been more certain of anything. Why, every time I look at this engagement ring you've given me, I become more and more certain I've done the right thing. Engagement ring? Was that not how you intended it? Jack's face had become a deeper shade of red than I'd ever seen it. And after a pause, he gave a resigned sigh. Oh, women are a bloomin' tough lot. I don't know how you can speak like that at this... I don't know how you can speak like this ain't a choice that'll affect your life. I know the weight of my choice. Do you think less of me for it? No. I treasure all the more, really. Well, come on. Let me see your wrist. I should like to tend to that wound. You noticed, did you? Damn it. You're too clever for me.
By the time he resumed his work and cleaned the tray to be taken away, the sky was rising from its night-long slumber. Dear God, would you make out already? The end. Oh, we're snoring.
Come on, get up! My lady, please wake up.
Kiss her awake.
My lady, please wake up. If you're not up in 5 seconds, I shall have to eat you.
Oh, that sounds sexy as fuck.
I shall have to eat you.
Pretends to be sleeping still. Come on! And she's like, wait, no! Wait, yes. What? No, don't! I jumped up in a hurry.
Good morning, milady.
Oh, I see. Yes, good morning. I shall have to eat you. Why would you not pretend to be asleep when you heard that? Jack, when did I fall asleep? And what was that you said?
I fear you'll have to begin dressing for school very presently, my lady. Any longer and you'll be late, so I should ask you to hurry.
I cannot help but feel that, try as he did otherwise, he spoke in a terrible rush. He appeared calm on the surface, only his cheeks were colored by a light pink blush. And he's still in his butler. He has to get up, put on his butler uniform, do shit, then get changed and go to school. Good morning, my lady. To you as well, Alicia. Is something wrong? You look a bit down. It's odd. It wasn't the usual milkman who visited today. Oh, I feel so bad for Alicia. Really? That is odd. It's the first time someone else has come. I've not heard anything about why he didn't come today either. And we were meant to meet this weekend, so I've become quite anxious for him. I'm certain there must be a good reason. Yeah, he's dead. Very unexpectedly was Jack, who made to engage in the discussion from behind me.
Alicia, I'm told Wallace has gone abroad to where a friend is waiting. That friend, you see, is in a good situation with his business. So good, in fact, that he asked Wallace to help run it. It seems things are on the up and up with him.
Well, is that so? And this is all news to me, and so very sudden.
It's not as though I heard it from Wallace. But would you please keep this quiet? If Pendleton was to find out, I think it caused a bit of a problem.
Thank you for letting me know. But look at the time. You two ought to be going to school now. Have a safe trip. Thank you. We'll see you in the afternoon. Our ride to school was not one of silence as before. We could speak, and finally I was able to request an answer to the question I desired most to ask. I'd like to ask you about Wallace. Did you...
What do you mean?
Tell me the truth. I haven't forgotten the wound on your wrist. You have a clear tell also. Your ears twitch when you lie to me.
There ain't a thing I can keep from you, is there?
Then you really did...
Yes, I sent him away yesterday. He's been nosing about the mansion a fair amount. I've seen evidence that he's been rewarded for what he's gathered round it.
Was he behind my list?
Yes. No doubt someone in need of a traitor to freely come and go from the mansion, gain our trust, go about some dirty work and such. I handed him to Scotland Yard. I don't believe I shall ever come around again.
Then why say such things to Alicia? What if she waits for him to come back for the rest of her life?
There are some realities that take time to accept. Besides, just because someone you love is gone now, it don't mean you want to go see him again.
I don't mean you won't get to see him again, sorry.
Even then, you just got to believe in it even if you know it's not true. I'd know.
Stop that. I wasn't lying to you yesterday, Jack. I truly never intend to marry.
I suppose you're right. You're a terrible liar.
Jack smiled. It was a sweet smile, slighted by the loneliness that came from being convinced of something that brought about nothing positive. He knew the future of Alicia and Wallace, in a sad sort of way, though I proclaimed him my one and only, found kinship in how hopeless, yet hopeful, love could be.
Hello there! Morning!
Have you two read the morning paper? There was a check stolen from Miss Howard's mansion. What? Really? Did it say Miss or Mr.? Mr. Howard's.
It isn't the first time that it's happened, they say. They've only just begun to notice it of late.
Oh, let me guess. Howard's stealing shit.
I'm aware that you met with him yesterday, Miss Whitley. As such, you're likely to come under suspicion.
What? Holmes, don't be daft.
Inspector Lestrade only brought the case to my attention this morning. I, of course, know that you're innocent and have no intention of questioning you. You have an idea who's responsible, then? Perhaps. It's likely a traitor who frequents his mansion. I agree. It's likely one who's been coming and going for some time, too. Or... I would hear your thoughts later, Jack. I'm greatly interested in your input. Would you care to accompany us to the scene after school as well? Well, I shall need to ask Spacey first. She is my master. That's sexy as fuck!
By all means, go and help them. I wonder if I might even join you.
No, I prefer you not go anywhere near that mansion.
Oh, are you quite jealous?
Not at all. I was trying to be considerate of his feelings. I'll come along, but only after I've seen Spacey home. Can you wait? Certainly. It'll be good to have you.
Incidentally, may I ask if you feel Mr. Howard would be a suitable husband after meeting him?
Yes. I'm sure that's more the question on everyone's mind than the theft in the paper. So, is he your man? Out with it. What is this girl talk coming from Holmes?
Don't speak as though I'm a suspect under interrogation. And he is a lovely man, but to be as blunt as you, he is not my man. I've turned him down. I feel it's still far too early for me to consider marriage.
I see. And that's a shame. May I ask then why you're wearing that ring?
That's secret. I'll only say that it has nothing to do with Mr. Howard.
Oh! Well, whatever the truth is, knowing you're involved means it's far from a simple affair. The emblem on your ring does strike me as familiar, though. Is it something bad, Holmes? Nothing of the sort. Ignore me. If you say so. Now that I know what she said. Congratulations, Jack. Why, I didn't do nothing.
You're quiet, but you must have been terrified when you heard about the meeting.
Don't know where you got that idea. I'm not.
I peeked back towards him.
Everyone fucking knows. He's like, what? It's not like I'm in love with her. And they're like, yeah, you are. We're all not. None of us are stupid. This is the most open secret affair ever. It's so non-clandestine.
He stopped talking the very second I looked at him. A pause. A short, soft sigh.
I ain't worried. Never have been. Phew. Well, I don't know if there will ever be another couple with more twists and turns.
Mr. Mackenzie should be here soon. We best settle down for class now. As though it wished to rouse us into action, the sound of the school bell rang out.
Welcome home, my lady. That wasn't good. I'm sorry. That was bad. That was a bad Pendleton voice. Anyway.
And thank you, Pendleton. Oh, just from where did all these books appear?
I would be pleased if you used them in your school, Miss Whitley.
Why, hello, Miss McLeod. I hope I caused no offense by turning down the offer.
Not at all. It's your life to live. Now, do you think these books will be suitable?
Rather, look at the illustrations. They're beautiful.
Has something caught your eye?
It's the Howard crest on the back. Are these from Mr. Howard?
You told me not to say anything, but that didn't take long, did it? They are indeed a gift from him. Will you accept them?
But I rejected his offer. This is... Yeah, you rejected his offer, but still, he specifically said... Now, I mean, unless she, then be shady, I don't know. He was like, look, I mean, we don't have to get married. I still want to help your school, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't like a dangling bait, well, I mean, you better marry me or I'm not going to help you. You know what I mean? He was still interested in what she was doing. I mean, I guess rightfully so. She was like, well, he said he'd still help, but I'm not going to hold him to that because he might not. I guess. I held the book close to my chest as though it were precious. How I wanted to cry right then. He really is a good man.
You'll have to excuse me for now, Miss Whitley. I only came to drop these off.
Of course. Thank you so very much.
Should you ever have any worries you feel you can't tell anyone, come to me and I'll lend you an ear.
It's just like she knows.
She's like, I understand wanting to be in love with your butler. Or in your case, your footman. I'm in love with your butler. Your butler is a fine man.
Miss McLeod, what is she, 27? So, seriously.
It can be related to the school or something else in your life. I'll always be there for you.
I think my goal in life is now to voice old lady characters. Just speak to my soul.
Upon a kind smile, she left the mansion.
Mr. Howard is an ideal man. You've let someone like no other go, my lady. Or Ordinarily, to marry one so ideal would be what's best for the family.
Yes, I understand what I did.
I say ordinarily, because you're still young. It isn't a crime to engage in romance before marriage, nor is it wrong to fall in forbidden love.
This is so Pendleton being like, it's not wrong because I was in love with your mom or your dad. I don't know Pendleton, but oh, look at the look on his face. Oh, Pendleton, you break my heart. I love you so much, you poor precious thing.
I may have experienced something similar once in my youth.
Oh. You were in forbidden love, Pendleton? Oh, God.
I was talking nonsense. Please forget I said anything.
Poor Pendleton. Does your heart just break for him? Oh, I feel for him so much. Just want to hold him and stroke his precious pretty hair.
Now? But now Miss McLeod was widowed half a year after marrying. She had no children, and she spent 50 years refusing all offers of marriage, choosing to support her family name entirely on her own. She'll be an excellent advisor for you should you need one. That's all I'll say.
Thank you, but I haven't forgotten what you said. Will you tell me the truth one day?
If you can overcome the suffering and joys you have set for your future and become a fine woman, then perhaps. It is a shame that I am so strongly compelled to use if, for I hesitate to consider if you'll ever become so fine a woman.
You're so rude!
That's why we love him. Did something happen?
Oh, Jack, nothing happened. Except for Pendleton being Pendleton. He's so precious. He's like death in a suit. Soon again, we were greeted by new guests as another carriage had approached. It was, to my delight, Holmes and Watson who emerged from the door. I'm not even kidding. I saw the H and I thought it was going to be Mr. Howard. And I'm like, why is that her delight? Like, weird.
Hello again, Jack. We've come to pick you up.
Still can't get over man Watson. We'll be going to the mansion immediately. Are you ready? Oh, right. I forgot about that. All right. Coming. If you'll pardon me now, my lady, I won't be long.
All right. Do take care, Jack.
I beg that you avoid being alone under any circumstances. Until I return, then.
I'll be waiting for you till you're back.
Wow. We're not hiding that we're in love with him very well.
I'll be waiting till you're back.
Fawning. They're like, are you... You know what? Never mind. We don't need to know. We know.
With the three now boarded, I stood and watched till the carriage grew small in the distance.
She needs to learn how to control it and make it look...
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Jack. You're such a good footman.
And then meanwhile, then she slams the door when they're alone. It's like, get on the bed now. You know what I mean? You gotta play it up so people are like, oh, she's such a spinster. She's a thornbag. She's everything. Oh, those are so great. Those things. Anyway.
Not until it disappeared did I tear my eyes away.
He's done an admirable job adjusting to his new life.
I think so as well. I only worry about how quick Holmes and Watson are. They've always been able to sense a crime brewing. Holmes in particular is likely to notice the wound on Jack's wrist if he hasn't already.
I didn't know till just now that you were aware of it.
It frightens me. I don't like that Jack has to dirty his hands out of my sight.
Pendleton's like, wait. We know Pendleton's little secret, right? Because he revealed it to Jack while we were there. She wasn't. But she's like, he's got a wound. And he's like, I didn't know you noticed. She's like, blah, 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 blah. She's like, she did not clue into the fact that, like, how do you know about it, Pendleton? Wait a minute, Pendleton. And he's like, blink, blink, blink. Nothing. She's totally clueless about Pendleton. I kind of love it.
I still love him dearly, but I need to gain more influence for his sake. The carriage is gone. I can't see it all now. I can't see it at all now. At least I still have this ring you gave me. For me, Jack, it's a symbol of the promise we made to one another. I'll never take it off for as long as I live. I don't care if our love has to remain in the shadows. It's my everything, and it'll forever be a blessing to us both.
This is the fucking end, isn't it? Totally is. All right, well.
May the future be one of bliss.
Okay, so I'm just gonna cut off the beginning and edit this to the last video. Because it was wasn't that long. So you're seeing it all together as one, and I recorded it in 2 different parts, but literally the last like 8 minutes was just like, so whatever. So yeah. Anyway, oh wait, we have to hold on. I totally forgot. Oh whoops, no, we were where we need to be. We need to go into the gallery and see the new pictures. The hell am I doing? Trying to make this so it's not like 6-hour part. It'll probably only be a little. So these were the. We already had that one. These were the new ones, right? I think so. Yeah, because this was the whole marriage proposal thing, right? Showed up in this part, yeah. Fucking Pendleton's face in this one. It's great. Like, I mean, whose butler literally has the gorgeous, long, flowing waist-length hair? That's like ass-length hair. I mean, that is like, he's gonna sit on that shit. Oh. Oh, thank God. Doot. This is like the only one where she's gotten secret engaged. Like, and she doesn't look totally stupid in this. She doesn't. He looks miserable though. Like, oh dear. He's like, hey, look, I found these back here. She's like, oh, sure you did. That's a load of bullshit. What's the one that we used? Oh, we used this one in the last one. But so we'll look at this one on this time. No, this one's better. Okay. We had the Pendleton one on the last one. The Pendleton one would have worked better on this one. But we'll end with this one because this one's. I mean, the engagement one's not bad, but like this one's a little more adorable. So anyway, yeah, so I'll edit the parts together, and this will look like one long part to you, as opposed to a normal part and a super short part. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.